All right.
But all things aside, it is time for StarCraft 2 Community Team League.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. That was really loud. Sorry about that.
It's alright. So this is the SC2CTL, as we mentioned. This is going to be Week 6 games. So this is going to be the last of the pool stage games. There's 2 pool stages. Each is 3 weeks, and this is going to be Week 6. After this, we go into playoffs. Hopefully, we're going to be casting some playoffs for you on Friday, as long
Yeah.
as the teams can get some games played. That will be before they're actually due, but we're urging them to play their games early so we can get a jump on that.
Yeah. So we
But
can
tonight
bring you
we've
the best action.
Yep. Tonight we've got two great teams. They are both in the playoffs. This is a best of 9 King of the Hill type format. You want to tell everybody a little bit about that?
Yeah. So in the tournament right now, what you do is it's clan war style, King of the Hill. So what happens is your team will send out a player. They will play until they lose. If they lose, then the next teammate moves in for them and they start playing in their spot. So you can get a chance to do 5-0, do an all kill, where only one player from your team will beat every player from the other team up to 5 games, and then, but obviously you can, go toe to toe up to 9 games total. So this is the last of the group stage, which means that the revival rule is still in effect, which means that once a team is has a match point, the other team who is trying to come back can revive one of their players who went out earlier in the match to come back and give it another shot, see if they can pull their team back out from under. So we may see that come into effect tonight. We may not. I don't know yet. But this is assuming that we cast playoff games on Friday. Then this is going to be the last instance that we'd be able to see the revive rule in action, as it is not allowed in the playoff time.
It is true. I love this format. I'll tell you what, I do.
It's fun. It's exciting.
I'm going to go ahead and paste in chat. It is a Reddit thread for tonight's post. Check that out. It's got all the information about the match tonight. And with that, I think we're ready to get in. We do have a tiny tidbit of information, I think, on one of these players, but I think I
Yep.
lost my window with it.
I've got it.
Okay,
It's
great.
so from Gear in the Rear, we have Anvarin, who's a Zerg player, and he's actually the clan coach. And he describes his play as being macro and mechanics focused, and does admit that he botches every engagement possible, apparently. So hopefully that is not a problem for him tonight. We do like to connect with the teams before we cast their games, just asking them if they could give us some information about their players, help us to connect you to them so they're more than just a name and a race on a screen, but there's an actual player behind it, and you can follow some people that you like. So unfortunately tonight, only Gear in the Rear was able to get back to us, so we only have bio information for their team.
We could make up some stuff for the other team.
We could, but I don't think that's a good idea.
With
Anyway,
that,
let's get into a
I
game.
think we're ready to jump into our first game.
Yes.
And in the lower left-hand corner, our Zerg opponent from Team fLc, I believe is their name, is what fLc stands for. It is Pluto.
And in the top right-hand corner, representing Team Gear in the Rear, the red Zerg, it is Anavrin. I totally botched his name. Anavrin.
And as we'll notice, I'm going to adjust my sound here real quick while we're in the opening stages because it's really loud. I think 14 is the magic number here. And,
Get it. Get you some.
alright, now we're good. Alright, so we do have some observer chat because these replays are submitted by the observers, so I'll try and just see through that. Some days it's worse than others, but it shouldn't be a big deal. But we do have a ZVZ in front of us tonight, so that should be, honestly, it's the new TVT for me. I'm not as interested in it as I used to be.
You were never interested in it, as I remember.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in playing it, but I used to enjoy watching it. I mean, I do still enjoy watching it, but the, it's I don't know what the way to describe it, but it's so uninteresting sometimes in the early game. It's who gets the most links, who gets the pain link first, unless there's some really crazy build.
I mean, sometimes there's some neat connections. But you're right, it does feel a little bit stagnant at the moment with just lings and banelings, and then usually into mutas. Sometimes you'll see some heavy roach play. That seems to be kind of a rarity, however. But it'll be interesting. I mean, it looks like both these players are going spawning pool first right now, and also saving up for that expansion. So we're seeing kind of mirrored play here already.
Speedy723 in chat asking the score to 0-0. This is our first game.
So yeah, you are here at the beginning. You have got all sorts of good stuff ahead of you.
And just for noting, the little boxes underneath each player's name is our scorecard, so that will display the score. Right now they are empty, so it is 0-0.
That's right. So both teams putting down those expansions. This is pretty normal. This is, although this is abnormal here. Sorry, that was just a gas trick.
Yep, a very late gas trick.
Yeah, I was like, what is he doing there? All right.
So sorry guys about this observer chat. We have requested that the teams give us some replays from the players' perspective, so that will take a little bit of time to sink into the players, and we've had a lot of teams respond and say that they'd be happy to do that. Didn't realize it was an issue, but obviously it is right now, as these guys are some chatty Cathys, so I apologize for that.
That is correct. Both players have two lings headed towards the other's base, just trying to do some scouting. Walks by a queen meandering around.
There's a couple lings coming into Pluto's base now. He's trying to just scout around, see the timing of the pool, see how many gas are down. He is getting successful. Oh, the ling just barely makes it out with just a couple HP, 4 HP to be exact. Drone's trying to kill, but the queen's going to clean up one of them, but the one does get away, so he's going to live another day to do some more scout-aroundery, but speed coming down at about the same time for both players, so it's a fairly identical build.
Yeah, and that's not surprising. Like we were talking about, this matchup is fairly standard at this point. Baneling Nest now going down for Pluto. Baneling Nest is down for an Averin, so it's not popped yet, but it's about halfway done.
Yes, we are giving away stuff again, Speedy, and it's a surprise. So I can't tell you right now what it is, but
it's actually a surprise to me too. It's a secret to everyone.
Troy told me it's secret because it's that special.
Man,
so we have a spine crawler going down next to the Baneling Nest for Pluto here.
An early lair from an Averin. That is, and he's got double gas in his main. Not put any gas down in his natural yet, but I don't even see any like defensive banelings or anything here.
He's not putting gas down in his natural as well.
And Pluto's doing an early lair as well. I think he might have scouted it.
Yeah, look at these.
No, he didn't.
Look at these overlords, the center of the map, though. I mean, both players have them smattered all over the place, knowing that there's no risk of anything at the moment. But Baneling's coming out now for Pluto. And Averin has not made any yet, but he is, with that layer, probably going to be researching speed at some point. Oh, that ling does come back to see what he sees. He only sees a queen and a couple zerglings, as well as that spine crawler, so not going to get a lot done there. Nice injecting.
Pluto here could probably do some damage if he was to move out with these forces, and Averin doesn't have anything.
Yeah, I was noticing that as well, but Spire is coming down for an Averin. So this has been a fairly lax game so far. Not a lot going on, but an Averin going to get that Spire out, and if Pluto doesn't attack him, those Mutalisks are going to be crazy.
That's right, and Averin now getting his Spire down as well, though. He's going to be about 25 seconds behind, so that is going to give time to get a little bit, those mutas out a little bit faster, which, by the time they make it across the map, Pluto's mutas are likely going to be popping, if not popped as well.
So an Averin is now coming across with, Pluto is coming across now with some lings to oh, no, he does decide to turn back, but an Averin has way more lings coming through here. He's going to push him back and see what he can get done. Pluto putting down a third base also, but there are lots of banelings, so one connection will take out a good deal of these forces.
And now banelings are being morphed for an Averin as well, and Pluto going in trying to just focus on those. Not a bad baneling connection there. and does deny the Anavrin's banelings, so those lings are going to be chased home and probably cleaned up.
Yeah, Spire now coming down also for Pluto. It has been now. It's about to finish, actually, but Anavrin does get his down faster. 2 mutas on the way. So if he can get these out and get him going faster than Pluto, he's going to have a big advantage. But 20 Zerglings being produced for Pluto as well. So, I mean, that's going to be a huge deal as the Zerglings are engaging out here in the middle.
And this is, a very different style. I mean, it's the same type of units that we usually see, but different timings for all of them. I mean, this is the 9-minute mark, and they both have the potential for mutas. And, only just now are we seeing Ling play. Mutas are on the field. There are 5 more about to pop. Anavrin has 8 so far, but these Zerglings are causing problems. He's going to lose a queen here.
Yeah. He
just
does
in time.
bypass the queen there a little bit. But Lings are going to take down this hatch at the 3rd, but the mutas are going to come in, but that's not... Oh, it might be just enough mutas to clean this up, but looks like he is going to be able to save that. But what's Pluto's response going to be? Mutalist. So, but Anavrin, if we look at the Uno counts, Pluto is behind by about 4 mutas right now. So if he continues that path, he's in the Muta Wars range of things, it's going to be a downhill battle. But he is putting spores at all of his bases. Anavrin hasn't done that yet, as I think
that could be a big deal, frankly.
Yeah, but I think Pluto knows, or Anavrin knows that Pluto is behind him in the muta count, so maybe he's not as worried about it, knowing that Pluto is going to be on the back foot. But Pluto is researching Mutalisk armor, as well as Anavrin is now as well. He just started that, so that is the money upgrade to get in Muta v Muta Wars, because that glaive bounce is reduced.
Yes, sir, it is. Especially with that regeneration, they can get that health back very quickly as long as they're not in an engagement.
So Anavrin now putting down spores as well. But there's a muta engagement here, but Anavrin does have more mutas. He's running away though, but if he keeps running away and taking pot shots, it's going to be an issue for him. But no, he does. They turn around and change course, and Anavrin comes on the offensive as Pluto is on the back foot. This is going to be the extent of this game, it looks like.
I mean, Anavrin was trying to get his Mutalisks connected together there. He did have some that weren't in the same location. However, Lings are now hitting that 3rd base of Anavrin, and he's going to have to pop some Lings to deal with that. Trying to snipe the gas. Those Mutalisks for Pluto are now engaging as well.
Oh, he does save that 3rd base once again, so a really good save on that. That's really important that he's done that, because that keeps him on an even footing economically. But Anavrin does have a lot more money in the bank than Pluto, but he's producing more mutas, more spine crawlers to defend against those Ling runarounds. Oh.
But he's got to be really careful, because his mutas are getting caught off guard, and like 3 now are going to be... Yeah, the 3rd one does go down there. The mutas are meeting in the center of the field, and Anavrin doesn't like those odds, so he's going to run out of there.
Yeah, and Pluto keeps having these good engagements with the mutas. If you look at the count now, it's 19-16 for Pluto, so Pluto is now in the lead as far as muta count goes.
And that is not good for Anavrin. He is doing a run-by at that 3rd, and Spines are taking out some great surface area blocking by Pluto here. Big muta engagement also at the natural, too, and Anavrin's running back into his base, but all of his overlords are going to get caught here. There's not really spore crawlers to reinforce this.
Anavrin did have a few mutas pop there to help reinforce, but Pluto's still getting damage done here as Anavrin keeps trying to push with Lings, but keeps thwarting it. But Pluto appears to be winning that muta battle.
And he's winning the Ling battle as well. The Lings do get cleaned up at the 3rd, and now they're running in to do some damage to the 3rd of Anavrin. So Anavrin's in a rough spot here.
But now as the Lings and mutas for Pluto convene in the middle of the map, though, it looks like the mutas are going to get some extra damage on those Lings, which is going to put the Ling number in Pluto's favor as well. Now we got a little lull in the force as both players are organizing their units. Pluto is still in the lead as far as mutas go. It's 11-16, so actually extending that muta lead as he's producing 3 more and getting an attack upgrade as well. Lings
and those Lings do a run around, steals the queen, and now is going to be looking for that base. Is able to get it down.
Yeah, I think Anavrin put that extra hatch there knowing that eventually that one was going to be able to be taken down.
And Pluto is just doing huge damage. It's just unmitigated damage. And Anavrin is trying to get a hold on it, but so much economic damage has been done. He's down to 40 drones to the 51 of Pluto. And the mutas are now doing an epic battle. to the left of the natural. It's not looking good for an Averin.
It's always so hard to tell who's winning those fights until all of a sudden someone has way less mutas. But now an Averin moving into the third base of Pluto, trying to get that spine crawler down and this base as well. Looks like he's going to get this hatch down as there's only 3 mutas poking away. Those lings do get that down successfully and run away.
The mutas are going to cut them off, and the muta count, Pluto has double the mutas that an Averin does, and this is a really scary point for him to be. He has no spore crawlers in production. He's only got 1 at his third, none at his natural.
Problem is, too, if we look at upgrades, he's got +1 armor and +1 attack, whereas an Averin only has +1 armor, so that basically nullifying the +1 armor of an Averin.
And this is not going to go well for an Averin. An Averin is going to have to GG here in a moment. Pulling the queen forward, trying to get some transfuses. Does successfully get 1, but that's all that there's going to be. And this is going to be the end of the game here, folks. And GG.
GG. So, you know, it is kind of what we expected. You know, an Averin, that was some really good play and really good micro by Pluto because, I mean, obviously he started out behind in the muta count, but somehow with just a few good engagements and positioning, he got himself ahead and even got ahead in an upgrade. So that, you know, as those clumps of mutas came together, that put him in a huge advantage.
Yeah, Pluto was doing a great job of getting his lings to run into the third base when other things were going on, so an Averin really had to look multiple places at once. The lings were able to get a lot of damage done, and that was really what cinched the game, I think, is just the amount of aggression that was going on at the bases of an Averin.
Excuse me here for a moment. As I'm adjusting my lighting, I was blowing out the place, so I'm gonna turn one of these off real quick. My sick wife is trying to rest herself, and my surface of the sun bright lights is sort of ruining the experience down here. So I can get by with one. Actually, it looks pretty good. I might just stick with that. But as